Washington once horrified at the prospect of President-elect Donald Trump daring to question the results of the election, now joining Jill Stein in demanding a recount in Wisconsin. And here to weigh in, Democratic Ohio State Senator Chaparro and Kristin Tate from the libertarianchick.com. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Absolutely, thank you.
So, no longer a threat to democracy, Kristin?
This is just the height of hypocrisy. I mean, of course, when Trump wants to question the results, if he loses, that would be appalling. But now that Hillary's the one that lost, she's completely changed her tune. But here's the bottom line. She would have to win all of these states where they're doing recounts. It would be Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania to win the election. There's no chance of that happening. This is a big pipe dream. There's no evidence that there was election tampering in these states. And what's most funny about this story is that perhaps the most corrupt person to run for president, who is under federal investigation for pay-to-play politics and who received debate questions ahead of time from CNN, now wants to be in charge of the integrity of the election. I mean, it's hilarious.
Yeah, so, Capri, what is going on here? Because Hillary Clinton's campaign itself has come forward and said that they've been looking into it. There's no evidence of any hacking or wrongdoing in that regard, but yet they're joining on to this effort.
I think that I actually kind of agree with what was just said as far as it's a pipe dream. I mean, yesterday, actually, my member of Congress, Tim Ryan, who's actually challenging Nancy Pelosi for the leadership job in the House, was on Meet the Press, and he said it's time for us to move on. I happen to agree with my Congressman Tim Ryan. It is time for us to move on. We need to work on unifying the country, moving the Democratic Party forward, and not harping on something. Wisconsin only has 10 electoral votes, just 10. And as Kristin just said, I mean, that's not going to be enough to flip the election.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe they're banking on some kind of a crazy, faithless elector scenario,
yeah,
but it's not going to work.
107,000, was that correct, between all three states, the difference of those votes? But let's talk about the money that's been raised so far. Jill Stein raising over $6 million. When you take a look at the Florida recount, that cost about $2 million. The money that is not used will go towards the Green Party. So what's going on here, and who is contributing to that? I mean, $6 million so far when she couldn't raise that amount of money in the general election.
It's Hillary people.
You think it's Hillary people?
It's Hillary people, for sure. I mean, Hillary people who are, again, looking for a miracle, have invested in Jill Stein, and Jill Stein's going to pocket that money, unfortunately, and I think it's going to be a lose-lose situation, but here we are, 2016.
Kristin, you get the final word here.
Yeah, if you actually look at Jill Stein's own website, it says right there in the fine print that all of the money raised may not even go to this recount effort. The verbiage is very nebulous. So we don't know where this money is going, and to me, this smacks of a financial scam. And remember, Jill Stein is not exactly as pure as wind-driven snow. This is a woman who's been arrested multiple times. She was behind bars in 2012. So we don't know where this money is going or what the motive behind this is.
Well, we know the deadline to file in Pennsylvania is today. Wisconsin slated to have meeting at 9:30 a.m. this morning, Wisconsin time. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Kristin and Capri, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Heather.